Everything I've been through, I still shine bright. I ain't where I was, I'm in a new life. Baby, look good on me, all on me. Baby, look good on me. No cap, no cap. But I lost, came back.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank God. It's Friday. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Come on, log in. Who's on? Let me know who's on. Say good morning. It's Freedom Friday. It's a good day to have a great day. Good morning. Let me know who's on. Good morning, Miss Dee Dee. Good morning. Glad for you to join us. I got a good one today. It is Freedom Weekend. Good morning, Miss Carla. Happy Friday. Today's a great day. It's a great day to be free. All right, who else is on? Good to see y'all this morning. I hope y'all are able to be off and rested. Get some rest today. So glad it's Friday. We made it, y'all. But it's a good day to have a great day. It's a great day to be free in your mind, free in your spirit, free in relationships. And today's episode is called Freedom Costs. Oh man, this is gonna be good. Call it, yes, I did get some rest. And I'm going to get some more after I get done with this. Watch me. I've been getting some rest. Yep. Girl needs it. Yep. And so, but yes, I'm glad that y'all are on here with me. And we're going to get started because I got a good topic for y'all today. I actually was going to take today off. But then God put this in my spirit. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get on there. But today's episode is called Freedom Costs. And this is talking about there's a price of becoming who we were created to be. So let's talk about it because a lot of people, they want freedom. They want freedom from anxiety. They want freedom from toxic relationships. They want freedom from addiction, freedom from people pleasing or guilt. But a lot of people, very few people, good morning, Chicken Wang. But very few people are willing to pay what freedom actually costs. Because freedom is not, it's a destination, it's a lifestyle that has to be protected. That's just like in order for, yes, freedom from self. And that's just like in order for us to be free, it's Independence Weekend. In order for us to be able to live the life that we live, there had to be some bloodshed. And that's spiritually and naturally. You know, Jesus died for us and shed his blood. And in order for us to be free in this country, there was bloodshed for us to have freedom. So freedom costs, but it's up to us to protect it. That's the thing, because freedom is going to cost you your comfort. Growth is almost always going to require you leaving something that's familiar. Sometimes freedom means walking away from people you love. Sometimes it means disappointing people who benefited from dysfunction. Good morning, Miss Sherry. Yes, sometimes it means, disappointing people and setting boundaries with people who are benefiting from dysfunction. But sometimes it means saying no when that old version of you would have said yes. Yep, I probably would have done that back then, but guess what? I'm not doing that. I'm in a different place in my life. So freedom will cost you your comfort. And freedom and comfort rarely live in the same house. Woo, good morning, Maisha. Good morning. But yes, now that right there, what they say, them kids, clock it. Comfort and freedom rarely live in the same house. Woo, that's good. So I have a question. What comfort have you been choosing over your freedom? Oh my goodness. That's a good question. Because freedom will cost you comfort. Freedom will also cost you surrender. This is a big one. It's a big one. We often ask God to change our circumstances, but we refuse to surrender our habits. I told y'all this was going to be good. Good morning, Miss Honey. So good to see you on this morning. I sure do miss you. But yes, we often ask God to change our circumstances. Good morning, Juanita. Yay, family's on this morning. My adopted family and my natural family. But we often ask God to change our circumstances, but we refuse to surrender our habits. You cannot heal while you're clinging to that very thing that wounded you. Good morning, Danae. Another family. You cannot heal that thing while you're clinging to the very thing that wounded you. Sometimes surrender looks like giving God your timeline. Because guess what? What I have discovered is He don't work on my timeline at all. At all. So it consists of letting go of control. A lot of us love control. I don't know about y'all, but when things are beyond my control, I feel like I'm in a tailspin. I feel like I'm out of control because things are out of control because I love to have things in order. I like for everything to operate the way it needs to operate. I don't like anything operating out of my control. But guess what? That's the way that God does things. Because remember, freedom costs comfort and it's uncomfortable not having control. So that surrender, freedom costs surrender, that's giving God your timeline and letting go of control. And it also means releasing unforgiveness because a lot of times people are holding on to unforgiveness and it is standing in the way of whatever it is that God has for you. That unforgiveness, if you just picture this imagery, y'all know I love visuals. I'm a visual person, but picture this imagery. There is a wall up, and on the other side of that wall is something amazing, something that God has for you that's going to blow your mind. But that wall is unforgiveness. That's exactly what it's like. When you are walking in unforgiveness, there is a wall there that is blocking you from getting to what you need to be, who you need to be, or what God has for you. And so freedom looks like it costs you unforgiveness. It costs you admitting that you need help. It costs you being honest in therapy. I posted my therapy flyer because I've not been taking new clients for about a month or longer than that. And I've just started taking new clients. Well, I will be next week. And one of the things I put in there, if you are ready to be honest and do the work, then therapy is for you. But listen, we get people, they come and sit in our chair and just stare at us like, okay, fix me. What are we supposed to do with that? What are we supposed to do with that? Then you get people that come in and they leaving out all kinds of parts of the story. And then as a therapist and having discernment, I'm sitting there like, wait, I'm missing something. Because guess what? They are not being honest. So and I let them know, if you're not going to be honest, good morning, T. If you're not going to be honest, if you're not going to tell me what's real, if you're not going to open up and reveal what it is that's going on, I can't help you. I don't care how good of a therapist I am. I can't do nothing with that. And guess what? It's the same way with God. If we're not honest with God, if we don't surrender to God, what can He do with that? What can He do with it? Freedom means obeying God when it doesn't make sense. Oh my goodness. There's some things that I would just rather not do. Right? I just rather not do. But guess what? If God say do it, I'm gonna do it. Might be kicking and screaming, but I'm gonna do it. Obeying God when it doesn't make sense. So freedom requires open hands. I surrender. Freedom will also cost you consistency. Ooh, that's a big one because we got a lot of people who don't want to be consistent, but we expecting consistent results. Freedom costs consistency. One breakthrough doesn't equal a transformed life. Healing isn't built in one counseling session. Mm. Carla, I'm on her toes. I'm sorry, friend. Take them toes and tap dance. Healing doesn't come in one counseling session. One altar call doesn't erase years of pattern. This requires consistency. Good morning, Miss April. Years. We some of us have years of unhealthy patterns. And guess what? We're going to go to that altar. We're going to ask God for strength. We're going to ask God for the courage to change the things that we can. And guess what? We will start that journey of the process of changing unhealthy patterns, changing unhealthy cycles, putting in the action. Why? Because faith without works is dead. We can pray all day, but if you don't put any action with it, guess what? Nothing's going to change. Nothing. It requires daily discipline. David said, I die daily. I get why he said I die daily, because every day is something. Something popping up. Something popping off. Something going on that I'm going to be faced with. And I'm not saying everything is negative, but there's always going to be something. And you've got to do the work. It takes daily discipline. Freedom isn't built through freedom is built through repeated healthy choices. Repeated healthy choices. You can't keep doing the same old thing that's getting you the same old results and expect to be free. Freedom costs surrender. And let me tell you, freedom will also cost boundaries. That B word that a lot of people don't like to use. Many people lose their freedom because they refuse to protect it. Oh, I said something right there. I said something right there. You lose your freedom if you refuse to protect it. If you finally found peace, protect it. Good morning, Cheryl. If you finally learned your worth, protect it. If you finally healed, protect it. Not everybody deserves unrestricted access to the healed version of you. And I know we've been saying that a lot lately. Good morning, Bishop. The bishop is on here, y'all. Oh, Bishop, I should let you teach this. Man, Bishop Clinton is on here this morning. But not everyone deserves unrestricted access to the healed version of you. Boundaries are not punishment, they are protection. So if you're going to be free, it is your job to protect it. Christ already died for us to be free, but guess what? It's on us to protect it. So freedom will cost you boundaries. And then this A word a lot of people don't like to hear. Freedom costs accountability. Accountability. Accountability isn't control, it's protection. The enemy loves isolation because what happens when you're isolated? Isolated people convince themselves that they're okay and that everybody else is wrong. I just need to get away from everybody else because everybody else is the problem. Well, what if everybody else isn't the problem? Freedom grows in healthy communication, healthy connection, admitting, you know what, I might have been out of pocket when I did that. And then having somebody who's not going to aid you in your foolishness and say, girl, you know, yeah, you're right. They just tripping. No, you need someone who's going to say, yeah, you were out of pocket. Oh, that's good, Bishop. If you don't set the boundaries, they're going to set them for you. Absolutely. Boundaries are setting a standard for your life. So if you don't want to set boundaries, then you don't want any standards. And people will do and say whatever and have all access pass in your life. But freedom grows in healthy community. You need some people in your life. Instead of getting offended because they tell you what's right or getting offended because they check you about something you're doing, being able to take accountability and say, you know what? Yeah, I was wrong. I was out of pocket. Yeah, I didn't say that right. Now, the way I acted was wrong. And you know what? I'm sorry for that. Freedom is apology, accountability. You need people who have you need someone needs to have permission to correct you. Who has permission to correct you? Who has permission to check you? And say, no, way you thinking about that. That's no. That thought process you got right now, that's not good. Nah, sis, you wrong there. We need people who gonna say that, and we're not gonna cut them off because they telling us what's right. They're not gonna cut us off or come back, be combative because we tell them that that's wrong. I always tell them, look, if I can't tell you what's right in therapy, you get offended, then therapy, this therapist ain't for you. So who has permission to correct you? Who can tell you the truth without you becoming defensive? Because again, freedom will cost you accountability. Are you ready to be accountable? Freedom. Freedom costs letting go of your old identity. Sometimes we're more attached to who we've been than excited about who we're becoming. Why? Because who we're becoming is scary. We don't know what's up the road. We don't know what God is going to require of us as this new version of us. So the uncertainty is scary. So a lot of times we want to hold on to that part of us. We're excited to hold on to that part of us. Why? Because we know who this person is. We know who the people are around us. But a lot of times when you're being called into this next stage of your life and being called into becoming, there's a lot of uncertainty there. And guess what? God will change your story. God will change your surroundings. God will change the people around you. God will change the circumstances around you. And that brings uncertainty. And with unfamiliarity comes uncomfortableness. Yes, unfamiliarity is scary. So a lot of times we refuse to let go of the old identity because we are afraid of what this new one is going to become, what's going to be required of this new one. People become comfortable being the victim, being the fixer, being the rescuer, being the angry one, being the people pleaser, being the strong one. We get comfortable with that version of us. And so healing asks you to release those identities that no longer fit where you're going. And as a therapist, again, I tell clients all the time, if you want to be free, it's going to require your participation. It's going to require action. So, you hear a lot of people say, well, you know what? I'm just going to wait on God. You know what? God going to do it. It's okay. I know it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right when you start doing something. When you become an active participant in your own healing, then yes, it's going to be okay. But as long as you're sitting back doing the same thing, just expecting God to step in and be Clark Kent, nothing's going to change. You cannot heal from the things that you continue to feed. Whoa. Listen here. You cannot heal from the things you continue to feed. I got a saying in counseling. I said, feed the monster and the monster grows. You keep feeding that thing and it's going to keep growing. But if you starve the monster going to die. Meaning, I'm not giving no more energy to this situation. It's dead. It is dead. You cannot heal from what you continue to feed. Good morning, Dr. Adams. You cannot expect different results while you are protecting unhealthy patterns. Healing is a collaborative effort. God moves, the therapist guides, but you have to do the work. You got to do the work. Oh my gosh, deliver me from clients that come in week after week. Oh, I didn't do my homework. Oh, I didn't do my homework. So how you been? Oh, I just don't understand. I don't understand. I have just been feeling just horribly. I've just been and I do this. You can't keep not doing the work and expecting your healing to come. You cannot. Galatians 5:1 says, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery, of bondage. So this verse reveals that freedom isn't just something that Christ gives us, it's something that we are called to protect. So I have scripture to back up the fact that you need to protect your freedom. Our freedom was purchased and it wasn't cheap. It cost Jesus' life. Just like the soldiers fought for our freedom here in America, it cost them blood. The cross that Jesus died on was the price that he paid so that we could live free from the bondage of sin and shame and condemnation and unhealthy patterns and unhealthy cycles. Freedom must be protected. Paul said, stand firm. What does stand mean? That's an action word. That means it requires vigilance. We cannot become careless with what Christ paid such a high price to give us. We can't be careless with it and let it be in vain. It's too valuable. Your salvation is too valuable. Your sanity is too valuable. Your purpose, your future is too valuable to engage in nonsense. I want y'all to put that in the chat. No nonsense. No nonsense. No nonsense. No more nonsense. Somebody been entertaining foolery, and it took you so long to be free of it. And you just one conversation away of getting right back into it. Come on. Don't let all of that healing that you have done, this whole journey that you've been on, to be for nothing. For nothing. Come on. No nonsense. Freedom can be surrendered. Because Paul warns believers not to become burdened again by the yoke of bondage, by that yoke of slavery. Because this tells us that it's possible to return to old habits. It's possible to return to unhealthy relationships. It's possible to return to destructive thinking or fear or the guilt or addiction. It's possible to return to that legalism. Like if we don't intentionally guard our freedom, Paul says, don't let yourself be burdened again. That tells me that we are the gatekeepers of our own freedom. You decide what come in and out that gate. So you can't keep letting snakes slither in the garden and then be mad when they in there and they bite you. Guess what? You got control of the gate. You're the gatekeeper. You decide who gets in and who gets let out. So don't let the snakes in and then mad because you got bit. Be the gatekeeper. A lot of times we're expecting something different from the snake. You knew it was a snake when you let it in. You knew it was a snake when you started playing with it. And then when the snake bit you and you like, I can't believe you bit me again. You knew I was a snake when you started playing with me. Come on. Come on. It's insane. What does Maya Angelou say? She say, when people show you who they are, believe them. And then I went a step further when I heard that for the first time. I said, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. I'm gonna believe you until I actually see something different. Because you can tell me something all day, but your actions are gonna reveal everything. Everything. Sometimes we reopen doors that God closed, and it was closed for a reason. Sometimes we reconnect with people God already delivered us from. Whew. Think about how long it took you to get free. Think about how long it took you to get to where you are today. Is it worth it to lose it? Woo! My God. Somebody better hear God today because that's a warning. Oh, Miss Honey, my condolences to you. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely in my prayers. You still got some family here. I'm here. And I love you too. Yes, ma'am. But sometimes we revisit habits that God has already helped us to break. Sometimes we entertain thoughts that God already healed us from. And the enemy doesn't always have to drag us back into bondage. Sometimes we walk back because what's familiar feels more comfortable than what's free. Sometimes we go back into situations because we're tired of being alone. Sometimes we go back into situations because we don't want to wait. We've been waiting a long time. God ain't moving fast enough. But guess what? Generally, when what God has for you is just over the hill, the devil's going to throw some type of counterfeit in your way because he don't want you to get on the other side of that hill. My God. And so Paul warns us to not be entangled again with that yoke of bondage. Y'all, if you know what a yoke is, it was a heavy wooden beam that was placed across the necks of oxen, cattle, controlling where they went and how they moved. And spiritually, a yoke represents anything that controls us, that binds us, and that enslaves us. And today, some of those yokes can look like fear. Some of us are entangled with the yoke of fear, the yoke of bitterness, people pleasing, addiction, toxic relationships, shame, unforgiveness, people pleasing, approval seeking, legalism. I'm only obedient to God because I'm afraid. Obeying him out of fear because you believe that your relationship with God depends on your performance. Another yoke is limiting beliefs. It's stinking thinking. It's things that we learned growing up that weren't healthy. Or things that keep us limited, keep us bound. Freedom costs because once you're free, you got to protect your freedom. And it requires saying no to what once controlled you. It requires saying no to what already cut you. Guess what? Don't keep giving people the knife to re-injure you. You let the wound heal, and then you give it a knife to cut you all over again. We got to say no to the thing that once controlled you. If you've gotten free in your mind, no, I'm not entertaining those thoughts. No, you're not going to control my behavior today. Every day, you choose healing over hurt. You choose peace over chaos. You choose obedience over compromise and disobedience. And you choose boundaries over bondage. You are paying the price to remain free. Woo. Look at here. Put a fire in the chat. You are paying the price to remain free. Don't make Jesus keep breaking chains that you're determined to pick back up. Wow. That just, woo. We go to the altar and ask him to break it. We ask God, do this, do that. And then we're determined to just pick it right on back up. He gives you the strength and the courage you need to set boundaries. But just because who it is, you just let the walls back down again. He gives you the courage and the strength to start the healing journey and to admit what's going on in your life and to be able to take accountability. Guess what? And in an instant, you popping off. Don't keep asking him to break chains that you're determined to pick up. Freedom isn't just about breaking chains. It's about refusing to wear the chains again. Freedom requires responsibility. It's not permission to do whatever we want to do. It's the ability to live in the life that God designed for us without being controlled by what once held us captive. Jesus paid the price to give me freedom, but I have the responsibility to protect what he purchased. Freedom has already been paid for, but maintaining it still costs me something. It's going to cost me surrender. It's going to cost me discipline. It's going to cost me obedience. It's going to cost me boundaries and accountability and intentionality. So I have a challenge for you. I want you to ask yourself one question today. What is my freedom costing me? And am I willing to pay for it? Because staying the same has a cost. Remaining bitter has a cost. Living in fear has a cost. People pleasing definitely has a cost. Avoiding your healing has a cost. Why? Because unhealed people sabotage new opportunities, new relationships, healthy connections. So avoiding healing has a cost. And so does freedom. The difference is one cost is going to keep you in bondage. The other cost is going to change your life. So which one are you? That's my challenge. Ask yourself that. Because freedom isn't expensive because God made it costly. It's not. It's not expensive because God made it costly. It's expensive because becoming who you were created to be requires letting go of everything that was keeping you from it. Pay the price. Because the freedom on the other side is worth every sacrifice. It's worth saying, no, I can't talk to you anymore. It's worth saying, no, I can't have you in my circle anymore. No, I can't do this anymore. No, I'm not going to allow these thoughts to just run wild. I'm not going to chase that rabbit down that hole. Because, when those thoughts begin to pop up, a lot of us won't cast down those thoughts and those imaginations. What we do is just go on and follow that rabbit down that hole. I always say this in counseling. Just because the bird land on your head don't mean you got to let it make a nest. Shoo him off your head. Christ paid for your freedom with his blood. Don't give away what he purchased with such a high price. Stand firm. Guard your healing. Protect your peace. Protect your purpose. Because freedom isn't just a gift, it's a responsibility. Woo! Now put that in the chat. It's a responsibility. Freedom is a responsibility. And I thank y'all so much for tuning in this morning. And who on here was at Empower Her last weekend, y'all? I have been so anxious to catch up with everybody who was at Empower Her over the weekend. When I tell you that God came in and moved in that place and people received their healing in though just being in the room. And those of you who were in the room and received your healing, I pray that you continue to walk in your healing and protect it. Those that God set free, that freedom is your responsibility. And I pray that you are protecting your freedom as we go into Independence Day weekend. Keep that in the forefront of your mind. Stand firm. Freedom. Yes, said Empower was one for the books. It absolutely was. It absolutely was. If anybody left out of that room unhealed, it's because you didn't want to be. Because there was no reason for it. There was no reason for it. We had the Healing Beyond the Highlight Reel Masterclass. We had the Pink Table Talk panel, which was amazing. And then Pastor Latoya came in and Dr. Mimi, they really, really ministered out of their hearts to the women of God and all the whole theme of it. Even the business class with Elizabeth Hooper was amazing. And she even dealt with that too, about breaking unhealthy patterns and wanting to and she talked about healing and freedom. And so I tried to sit and figure out which part of the conference was my favorite part, but I couldn't. All of it hit me in a different way. Even the one that I minister myself, Healing Beyond the Highlight Reel, hit me in a different way. And so, but it was amazing. Thank y'all so much for spending your Friday with me. I'm sure most of y'all are off and y'all could be off doing some things right now or just sleeping in late. So I thank you so much for spending your Friday morning with me. Your girl is tired, and so she's been getting a rest. You can see this is not my usual background, so I had to escape for a couple of days. But thank y'all so much for tuning in today, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. What y'all doing this weekend? So, but I just plan on resting. Really, is what I really want to do mostly. I'm gonna get out, do a little bit, but mostly I just want to rest. But again, thank y'all. I love y'all so much, Miss Honey. Definitely in my prayers. Um, you know how to reach me. And then Carl said nothing. Nothing is wonderful. Trust me. Trust me. Resting. Yes, Miss April, resting. That's good. That's good. Yes, that's what I want to do. Yeah, these last few months have just been go, 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 go. So I got some catching up to do. Spending time with Mister. Me and Mister gonna get some rest. And so, but yes, y'all keep us in your prayers. And thank y'all again for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend. And as always, what I always say, be amazing today. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one. See y'all next Friday.